Hello everybody, welcome back to another Infinite Warfare Zombies Easter egg video. Today I take on the attack of the radioactive thing. This map is by far one of the most tedious Easter eggs I have ever done, and for that reason it is not my favorite map. But where it lacked in Easter egg step fun, it made up for in boss fight fun. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and thanks for watching. Now we're on to Attack. Attack of the radioactive thing takes place during the 1950s in California. It takes on a monochromatic aesthetic of its time period. The main protagonist of this map, other than ourselves, is Elvira, and Elvira has also been trapped into attack of the radioactive thing by Willard Wyler and assists us in taking him down. Again, our characters get a style overhaul for the 1950s theme, and in this case I spawn in with Andre. Now, of all the maps, I think the Easter egg steps for this map were my least favorite. It felt like everything was very spread out, and this map had a lot of unused space that just really didn't need to be there. So I just felt like there was a lot of running around and grabbing parts, so that's why this wasn't my favorite map for the Easter egg. So here I build the seismic wave generator, which I'm going to need for a part later on, and then I basically just accumulate points in these first couple rooms until I'm able to just buy through a good majority of the map and get a majority of the parts that I'm going to need. The first part that I grab here is down at the beach, and this is the power handle. I then also use my seismic wave generator to bring the arm up. I also run under the bridge and I grab a piece for the chemical stamp. And here you can see me add the power switch, and then once you add the power switch you can add a component to that trap, so now that trap is functioning. And then we grab Elvira's book. We also come to the refrigerator and add a part there, so that trap is running, and then we finally come back and talk to Elvira. After speaking with Elvira, she gives me a vial which I can then fill up by getting melee kills with a cleaver. As you can see there, I needed to melee a glowing green guy and he drops a leg. And then here I just complete my melee kills in order to fill up my vial. On my way back to Elvira, I throw a grenade into this tree, which will knock out another leg. I pick this leg up. I come back over and chat with Elvira, which at this point, she now is able to open up Pack-a-Punch, which we are going to need for some of the parts of this Easter egg. Here, I run through, I check my M value, and then I run over and I grab a arm from the RV place out of the fireplace. I grab the gauges for the chemistry step. I then also grab this machine for the chemistry step. One thing to note, I was not recording during the beginning of my Easter egg run, so this is all just from a different game where I went and recreated what I did. After I grabbed the machinery for the chemical step is where my real run begins, right here. I then go grab a crowbar from the motel and break this mirror, and then I also break another mirror off this car. Here I run into the market and I turn on the frost trap, which will now allow me to run back in and melee one of the bodies with the crowbar, and now I can grab the torso. When Elvira is up, you're able to run back to her spot and grab a mirror, and now I head into Pack-a-Punch where I can click this button and I teleport really quickly and I spawn into the RV. I grab the alien fuses and the zombie head, and I try to look at the fridge for the number, but I just miss it. Here I need to put the alien fuses on this trap with another vial that I've filled up with the cleaver, and then I can come back and grab them, and the alien fuses are charged, so I'm good for double Pack-a-Punch. I then prone in the market at the bottom of that desk, and I see that the number I need is 6712. So I now have to walk around the map and change all of these pressurized pipe systems to one of them has to be 6, one has to be 7, one has to be 1, and one has to be 2. So there we go, that unlocks the safe, and I can now grab the code. That is the code I will use to take out the beast at the end. Here I build the zombie and I set up all the mirrors and I put in my code. Unfortunately, I forgot one part, so I just had to quickly run into the ice cream shop and grab this code. I can place this little ticket into the machine, and this is just a random number guessing step. This part is kind of crazy. Luckily for me, on the first try I get 3 of the numbers, which is awesome. So then I come back, and on my second try I actually get it. This was the fastest I was ever able to do this. So once you input the code correctly, you then hit the machine again, and the turret sitting there, or laser beam, will shoot the zombie, and then the zombie will come back to life. So now the zombies all put back together. I now have to enter that code, but in reverse. Here I enter the code in reverse, and then I hit the switch again, and another laser beam will come out, and the zombie that we had just created now turns into a key. I thought this step was pretty cool, how you enter the code one way, and the parts that you collected for the zombie put the zombie back together, and then the beam brings him to life, and then you enter the code in reverse and it kills the zombie and you get a key. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but I did really enjoy this step. As you saw there, I put a battery into a recording device, which then allowed me to hear what chemical compound I'm going to need to use in order to take out the boss. I then head to Pack-a-Punch and I installed the alien fuses into the Pack-a-Punch machine, so I am now ready for double Pack-a-Punch. The next step I like to call the number step, or the color step. At this point I figure out which numbers I don't need and I figure out which number I do need, so then I can multiply this number against the M value that I found earlier in the game, and this will give me a number that is less than, equal to, or greater than these various numbers that you'll see on the screen. So I found out that my color is green, and I now have to go around the map and screenshot the boards in the green color. Here I used the key from the zombie that we made to unlock the garage, and then I start assembling the chemistry equipment. So now I'm ready for the chemistry step, which again I will not bore you with. This step took me so long. We got it done. Unfortunately, I missed picking up the pages and bringing them to Elvira, and then I also missed one of the bomb parts. After picking up the last bomb part and creating our chemical compound, I was now ready to jump into the boss fight. I just wanted to make sure that I pack-a-punch my guns. I wanted to double pack the Kendalls and double pack the Osa in order to make this as easy as possible. Here I do get a little creative with my Fate and Fortune cards. I use a refund policy for my first 2 Pack-a-Punches, and then I use it for the double Pack-a-Punch on the Kendall, and then I use a coupon clipper for the double Pack-a-Punch on the Osa. I definitely didn't need to use these for this part, but at this point I was already a few hours into this run, and I just wanted to get into the boss fight as soon as possible. Now that I'm ready, I head back over to the bomb, at which point it will teleport me into the boss fight. The first stage of the boss fight is to just guide the nuke all the way to the beach. So this part really isn't that bad. Basically just kill the zombies that come at you, and then if you get overwhelmed, just start training. There's no need to go quick on this part. You can really take your time. As you can see here, I just use my Kendalls, and I kind of try and take out the green guys with my Kendalls, and I just train up the zombies. And in this part I was in no rush. I just wanted to take my time, make sure I get there safe, make sure we don't take any downs. Once we escort the bomb all the way down to the water, it will then shoot into the mouth of the radioactive thing, and here we are on to our second step, where I now need to jump on these cannons and shoot the radioactive thing in the chest 3 times. So right there, that's 1. I jump back on it. Right here, we miss. That's okay, we hit our second shot, and then we just have to hit him one more time. So right here, we hit him one last time, and now we're pretty much on to the third step. Although I didn't love this map, I really enjoyed this boss fight. This boss fight was a ton of fun. I like the cannons. I like this third stage coming up, and then you guys will see the last few steps, which I thought were really, really cool. The third step here is essentially just a survive step. The radioactive thing will spew green radioactive goo all over the front of the beach, and then he'll shoot the green guys, and then I basically just take him out. This part was really easy, and he basically just pushes you further and further back up the beach, and then once you're done, the radioactive thing will send out these lasers, and I thought this was probably one of the coolest steps in any zombie game, where you have to run down the beach while avoiding the lasers, and you have to get down the beach in 10 seconds, and you have to hit the bomb. And then once you hit the bomb, you enter the beast's stomach, and then you enter that code that we once found at the beginning of the match. Here, I enter the code. I only mess up once, which was awesome, and you can see it in my face. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's over. This map took me way too long. It was not a difficult map, but it took me a lot of tries, so I was very happy to finish it off. Attack of the Radioactive thing was not my favorite map. I felt like there was just a lot of picking up parts and stuff. Some of the steps I thought were cool, and I especially loved the boss fight. But all in all, it felt like this map could have been executed a little bit better by changing up some of the steps and using the space just a little bit more. It just felt a little bit too big for what needed to be done. Our characters then grab the soul key, and we are teleported onto a spaceship. This spaceship that we are on is now taking us to Nightfall, which is the extinction setting. Extinction from Call of Duty Ghosts. This is where we get a glimpse of our last and final map, The Beast from Beyond.